here in 2009, this team is not playing well at all. So like I said, Sports Sunday here. I'm Christina Maxwell. We're going to talk a lot about the Phillies here. We're going to talk about the Sixers get into the NBA draft, which will be on Thursday. So you guys definitely take your calls here. The number is 856-227-1360, 856-227-1360, or if that's busy, it's 856-232-7077. And like I said, the Phillies get swept this weekend by the Baltimore Orioles. They lose 2-1 in today's matchup, despite that great outing from Cole Hamels. He was magnificent this week. On Sunday, he went 8 innings, only gave up the 2 runs, but that another run, Brian Roberts hit the go-ahead RBI single in the 8th inning, and the Orioles took that 2-1 lead, and they didn't look back after that. The Phillies have completely ended this homestand. It started last Friday against the Red Sox, and then they had the 3 games against the Toronto Blue Jays, and they swept them. And then the Baltimore Orioles, they came in and they swept the Phils as well. They end this homestand at 1-8. They've lost 6 straight games, and finally they'll be back on the road Tuesday against the Tampa Bay Rays. That's a team that they faced in the World Series. And the good news starting on Tuesday is that they're on the road and they play their best baseball on the road. Apparently they don't want to be home. They don't want to be in Philadelphia. They don't want to play there. They're 13-23 at home, and they're on the road. They're 23-9. So clearly they love playing on the road. They don't want to play at Citizens Bank Park for whatever reason. They're not playing well. And there's a lot of reasons as to why the Phillies lost today, and we're definitely going to go through inning by inning as to why they lost. But today's matchup was Jeremy Guthrie for the Orioles against Cole Hamels. And Guthrie's a guy that he's been a quality starting pitcher. He's a first rounder a couple years ago for the Cleveland Indians. He's in his late 20s, and he's a guy that really has pitched well for the Orioles overall. He's a quality start pitcher. He's not fantastic. He's not going to put up great numbers, but he's a guy that does well. This year he's not been well. He had a 4-7 record with a 5.42 ERA, and he's not pitching well at all. And so you really thought maybe this is the day that the Phillies can score a lot of runs after that heartbreaking loss on Saturday night, which we will obviously get to. The Orioles have won 4 straight. They took 2 or 3 from the Mets, and they come here and they sweep Philly. And they're a AL worst 10-20 on the road just before this game, and they're looking for their first road sweep since May of 2007 when they played the Kansas City Royals, and they definitely got that sweep today, definitely. Cole Hamels, he only has pitched once against the Orioles a couple years back, I think in 2006, with a 12.60 ERA. So he's 0-1, hasn't played them a lot. Last time the Phillies and the Orioles met was in 2006. That's when Hamels just got started, so you really can't take much out of that record. Overall this year he's 4-2, 4-3 after this, 4.48 ERA, but clearly he did not give up 4 runs today. He gave up the 2 runs, and he was magnificent today, and we'll talk about why. So first inning, the Phillies kind of jumped. The big thing about Guthrie is that you have to jump on this guy early. He's given up about 14 first-inning runs this year, so he's a guy you got to jump on early, get him out of the game. Phillies did not do that. They had runners on the quarters with 2 outs. They were unable to get anything in. But bottom second, Greg Dops, the home run to right field, gave the Phillies a 1-0 lead. And Guthrie was getting a lot of fly ball outs early in the game, and that's not good for him because he's not really a fly ball pitcher. He's a grounder pitcher, but unfortunately he was getting a lot of fly ball outs. Top 4, the leadoff base hit for Adam Jones, but then he struck out Luke Scott when Jones was caught stealing, and like the Phillies announcers really admitted, you got to put this team away early. You have to score runs. They could not get guys on base. They weren't getting anything done, and the Orioles had a lot of guys on. I think Cole Hamels gave up about 9 hits, so they left a lot of guys on. Couple double plays, the silly base stealing mistake by Adam Jones, another one by Brian Roberts later in the game. Top 6, 1 out for double for Brian Roberts. Stairs really didn't read this properly, because Raul Ibanez isn't here. I don't know if he could have held Brian Roberts to a single in that case, but Stairs didn't read it properly, and the ball kind of went down the third baseline, the dugout, and Cole Hamels was having a tough time, so Roberts was kind of indecisive when the ball was out in play, and he could have went to third, but he decided not to. He was kind of doing the dance right there between second and third. because he's a really good base stealer. Stole 15 bases. He's a very, very fast player. And, you hear a lot about him because I think that the Chicago Cubs in the offseason that was trying to trade for the Roberts, but the Orioles said we don't really want to give him up for nothing, and clearly you can see why. He ended up stealing third anyway. Reynolds struck out, and all of Cole Hamels' strikes today were all swinging, so there was no called strike threes. It was all swinging. That's how good he was. You can tell his changeup was so effective, and there was perfect command on the fastball. And that's what I noticed about Cole Hamels today. You can't blame him for this loss because he went out there, he pitched 8 innings, he gave the bullpen a rest. The bullpen has not been good, and he was able to go out there and pitch pretty well. It's just the Phillies just could not score. Anyway, the top 6, the base hit to right field for Adam Jones. He kind of hesitated, so he was kind of almost out at first base. He didn't really hustle in this play. And if Jason Worth gets him at first base, they don't have to worry about this tie game. But nonetheless, Jones was able to beat out, and it's an RBI single for Adam Jones, and the Orioles end up tying the game. And, Adam Jones, he's a very, very fast player. To see him kind of hesitate and give up on that play, it was really, you really don't want to see that in a baseball player. Top 7, leadoff base hit for Melvin Mora. Here's you think, the Phillies aren't doing much here. They're getting hits here and there, they're getting walks. They're not getting a lot out of Jeremy Guthrie. I noticed that the Orioles were kind of able to get Cole Hamels, and they were able to get runners in. And that was kind of the difference here. And like I said, top 7, the leadoff base hit for Melvin Mora. And he was kind of getting hard in the 7th, but then the base hit by Ty Wigginton. Mortar was stretching for third base. He was out at third base thanks to Shane Victorino's throw. He noticed Melvin Mora was kind of hesitating when he was going to second to third base, so he was able to throw him out. And Matt Winters grounded into the 6-4-3 double play. Here you guys think that maybe the Phillies will be able to get something out of this. Bottom 7, 1, 2, 3 innings for them. Great play by Ty Wigginton, able to get the ball next to the right field line. Top 8, and Cole Hamels is still out there. He's got 96 pitches to lead off the inning, and then there's a leadoff double for Robert Andino. Moved him over to third base. Then Brian Roberts again. Here he goes again with another RBI single, 2-1. He's the guy that hit the home run in the 9th inning on Saturday night off Matson. So he's definitely been the Orioles MVP this series. He was later caught stealing to end the inning, but he was able to give the Orioles a 2-1 lead. Bottom 8, the Phillies, you think maybe they can tie this game up, but unfortunately, with 1 out, Rollins was running down the first baseline, and the umpire called him out, saying that Wigginton tagged him. It was clear on the replay that Ty Wigginton never touched Jimmy Rollins when he was running down the first baseline. Charlie Manuel was very, very upset, furious, got ejected by his home umpire. I haven't seen Manuel ejected a lot this year, so I don't know if this was his first ejection. I'm not really sure, but I do know that he was ejected by the home umpire. And it was a shame because if Rollins is on first, later Shane Victorino doubles to left field, and that's when the game would have been tied, but unfortunately not. Chase Utley ended up grounding out. They didn't get anything out of this inning. Top 9, Chan Ho Park came in. Chan Ho Park has been great out of the bullpen, and he's a lot of these guys in the bullpen since they just went out have not got it done. The Phillies bullpen is 1-4 with a 7.9 ERA in this homestand. It started last weekend with the Red Sox. They just gave up a lot of runs. I know a lot of those runs are in the Toronto series with the extra innings game and whatnot, but his bullpen has not been good at all. And but Chan Ho Park is able to kind of go in the 9th inning, make sure the Orioles don't get any extra runs. You think maybe the Phillies can rattle George Sherrill? He's had 3 appearances in the last 3 days, but he got another 1-2-3 inning. That steers grounded to third on a great play by Melvin Mora. The ball was kind of hit hard. Thought maybe it would, they were kind of guarding the third baseline pretty well, so you thought maybe the Orioles were going to get hit, but Melvin Mora made a great play over there. A pop-up for Jason Worth, a horrible at-bat for him. 2 outs, and then Chris Robertson with the fly outs. So a 1-2-3 inning, and the Phillies end up losing this game 2-1, and it has not been easy for them at all this weekend. You go back to Friday night when they lose the one game when Jack Tashner was left out there in the 9th inning. He gave up the 4 runs there, and the fans are very unhappy right now. They don't play well at home at all. You see them leaving early and booing, and then Saturday night, Ryan Howard's sick. He's in the hospital. fever, flu-like symptoms. He's released from the hospital and goes out there and hits that home run in the 7th inning.